You take a screenshot and send it. A text message, a chat thread, something that explains your side quickly. You crop it, hit share, and move on with your day. It feels like clarification, not a commitment. The action is simple. You shared a screenshot of a conversation. At the time, it's about speed. You're trying to show what was said, to prove you're not imagining it, to avoid rewriting the whole exchange. Screenshots feel factual. They feel neutral. They feel safer than paraphrasing. The first time it matters is usually minor. A disagreement with a service provider, a delivery issue, a refund request. They ask for context, so you send the screenshot. One image, clean, time-stamped. You think of it as evidence in the casual sense, something that helps move things along. The response changes tone after that. They don't argue about what was said anymore. They refer back to the image. As shown here, based on this message, the discussion narrows. What's inside the frame becomes the entire story. What isn't there quietly disappears. You don't notice the shift yet. The second time it matters, it's more personal. A dispute with a neighbor, a disagreement at work. Someone questions what was agreed or when. You send the same screenshot again, this time to show consistency. You're not escalating, you're just keeping the record straight. But the act of sharing it fixes the moment. The conversation stops being remembered and starts being referenced. The cropped image doesn't show the messages before, or the ones after. It doesn't show tone, context, or what you assumed was obvious at the time. It shows exactly what you chose to include, and that choice starts doing work for you and against you. Later, when the issue surfaces formally, the screenshot is already there, attached, forwarded, saved. It's no longer something you shared informally. It's something that exists independently of you. When accounts differ, the image doesn't explain itself. It just sits there, stamped with time and sender, and lets everything else bend around it. What's missing becomes as important as what's shown. A message that would have softened it, a follow-up you sent later, a clarification that lived only in your head. None of that survived the transfer. The screenshot didn't lie, but it didn't tell the whole truth either. There's a version of this that happens under pressure. Someone asks for proof. Quickly. You don't want to argue about memory. You don't want to look evasive, so you send what you have. The most convenient slice of the conversation. You assume everyone understands it's partial. But partial records don't stay partial for long. Once they're in circulation, they start standing in for the whole exchange. Not because anyone decided that consciously, but because they're the only stable thing left when stories diverge. What turns this from awkward to serious is timing. By the time you realize the screenshot is being treated as definitive, it's already been relied on. It's already shaped decisions, responses, positions. Adding more context later doesn't restore balance. It looks like revision. The mechanism underneath isn't dramatic, it's administrative. Written and visual records get treated as anchors. The first clear artifact often becomes the reference point, even if it was never meant to carry that weight, especially if it came from you. And that's what makes this uncomfortable. The risk didn't come from lying or hiding anything. It came from being helpful, from trying to be clear, from choosing the fastest way to show what happened instead of the slow, messy way of explaining everything. The reversal at the end is this. The screenshot you shared to support your version didn't just show what was said. It decided what could be argued later. And the part of you that wanted to be transparent is the same part that handed over control of the record without realizing it.